Pops, we love our friends over at iSeeCars, especially when they put out great research like this one. We're going to be running through the vehicles that are the most and least overpriced, underpriced in different cities. Pretty nuts what we're about to walk through.
Okay, yeah, let's do that because it's some interesting data here.
All right, now, we know how we always do top 10 lists. We will go from bottom to top. We have a couple columns here. Let's all orient ourselves. The rank. Then the vehicle, the cheapest city to buy the car in, the most expensive city to buy the car in.
To buy that very same car in.
Exactly. And the percent, or actually, no, I'm going to go for it, Dad. The delta between the two.
I love Delta Dawn. It was one of my favorite songs.
You can buy a Ram 1500 in Lafayette,
Indiana.
See, it's tricky. Or in Anchorage, Alaska, there's a 22% price difference between the two, Dad.
So, if you happen to be in Anchorage, where you're paying that 22% price difference, it might behoove you to go to the Hoosier State and hang out in Lafayette for a day or two and save $10,000 on that Ram pickup truck. And then drive it back to Alaska. It would be an adventure filled with a lifetime's worth of memories.
And let's be very clear, used vehicles. We're talking about used vehicles here. The GMC Sierra 1500, Marquette.
Michigan. Yeah, Marquette.
Come on, you got to give me a second, man. I knew MI stood for Michigan. Casper, Riverton, Wyoming, a 22.5% difference in price. That $12,000 difference from Michigan to Wyoming.
Yeah, my guess is that there's only 3 people in the Casper, Riverton, Wyoming area, and they all have money, and they're just happy to get. No, it's hard to imagine that by just driving over a couple states, you could save $12,000.
This is why we like the research that iSeeCars does. Toyota Tacoma, Miami Fort Lauderdale to Anchorage, 23.5% difference. A Subaru Forester, Dad, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, and that's because in Miami, who the hell's driving a Toyota Tacoma? But in Anchorage, you know, you need that.
Subaru Forester, the cheapest city to buy it in is Duluth, Minnesota. Wait, MN Superior, Wisconsin? But that's Minnesota, right?
Duluth, Minnesota, and Superior, Wisconsin.
Oh, thank you. Columbus, the Tupelo West Point area.
Now, I find that surprising. And the reason I find it surprising is you would think Subarus would be less expensive in the South, where a all-wheel drive vehicle is not as necessary as it would be in the Duluth and Superior areas of Minnesota and Wisconsin. So that, to me, is a shocker.
Now, Dad, the Ford Explorer coming in at number 6. Back to our dear friends at, you can say it instead of me.
Lafayette.
Thank you. Fairbanks, Alaska this time, a 25%, almost 26% price difference. A Ford Escape from the Fresno, Visalia, California area. That's the cheapest place to buy one, which is mind-boggling to me. To Alpena, Michigan, where it's 26.4. We might have to look up some of these places on a map, man. I don't know where either of those places are.
We should make it a point to travel to all these places.
This is testing my geography skills. A Honda Civic, Dad. Lincoln and Hastings in Kearney, Nebraska. The Harlingen, that's the cheapest. The most expensive place to buy a used Honda Civic right now is Harlingen, Westlake, and McAllen, Texas.
Yeah, McAllen's outside of, if I'm not mistaken. No, I don't know exactly.
It's near Westlake, Dad. Number 3 on the list.
Obviously, yes.
Number 3 on the list, your Ford F-150, Dad. Zanesville, Ohio is the place to buy one of those. Do not go to Glendive, Montana, where it's nearly 27% more expensive.
You'll probably be fighting with somebody from Casper, Riverton, Wyoming as well if you go there. And I will say that I have been to Zanesville, Ohio, but I was young and I wasn't thinking about transportation at that time.
You had an opportunity. You should have taken it. Dad, the last 2, the Jeep Grand Cherokee, Baton Rouge is the place to buy one. Fairbanks is where you should avoid it, 27.8% price difference. And the Nissan Rogue.
Yes, the Rouge.
San Antonio, Texas is the cheapest place to buy one. Fairbanks, nearly a 33% premium to buy a Nissan Rogue in Fairbanks, Dad. That's insane.
That is insane, and which from what I can see, and I know Alex, the sound guy. I mean, he's Alaskan through and through.
Yep.
It is so damn expensive to buy stuff in Alaska. I mean, I'm moving.
Let's run through, Dad. iSeeCars also put together not just the difference between the cheapest and the most expensive places to buy vehicles, just the top 10 cities to buy particular used cars, because based on their average transaction price versus the national transaction price for that vehicle. Number 10 on the list for a Chevy Silverado 1500, St. Joseph, Missouri is the place you should be looking, about a 10.5% discount over the national average. Number 9 is a Hyundai Tucson, Elmira, New York. 10.8% below the national average. Like you said before, Toyota Tacomas, who once won in Miami, Fort Lauderdale, not a lot, evidently, because they're 11.2% below the average transaction price nationwide for a used one. Jeep Wranglers in the Springfield, Holyoke, Massachusetts area. Proud of myself, I pronounced that correctly. 11.4% below the national average. Ford Escapes in the Fresno, Visalia area of California, down 11.7% compared to national averages. San Antonio, Texas, with the Nissan Rogue, transacting at about 12% below the national average.
Wait a
Ram
second.
15.
Because it was the cheapest. Yeah, in comparison to fair. Yes, I get it. Yeah.
Yep. The Ram 1500 in Lafayette, which we were just talking about a moment ago, 12.5% below the national averages. Those Subaru Foresters in Duluth, Minnesota, and Superior, Wisconsin, Dad, 12.6% below. That to me is like the steal of the show right here. GMC Sierras in Marquette, Michigan, down 13.3% against the national average, and Honda Civics in Lincoln and Hastings in the Kearney area of Nebraska. Those are selling for 17% below the national average.
Probably has something to do with the fact that in Nebraska, people would much prefer to have a pickup truck than a Honda Civic.
Definitely. We'll link to the iSeeCars article down below. You should definitely click through. They have even more data on the page. I wish there was a way to do this for new car transactions as well. Unfortunately, we don't have access to that. But on the used car side, that gives you some perspective.
Yes. So if you're willing to travel, ladies and gentlemen, especially from Alaska, there are places where you could save thousands upon thousands of dollars and create a lifetime's worth of memories on your drive home.
Yeah, really, this video is targeted to Alaskans. We're just promoting travel to the continental United States.
This will go on our new travel channel.
Thanks, Pops.
Thank you, honey. I appreciate it.